move us on over. Hey, 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 we're live. Welcome to Super Serial Showtime, everyone. As always, I'm your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer, who is struggling with his fancy-pantsy backdrop because his computer's decided it wanted to ride the special bus today.
Yeah, super slow.
Yeah, but we're here.
Maybe it's the internet.
We're ready to talk about all things that interest us specifically. We actually don't care too much if it interests you. I mean, if you happen to like it, you're welcome to stick around and give your opinion on things in the chat. But it really only matters if it interests us. We're the ones running the show here. But if that's your flavor, you like movies, shows, maybe sometimes comics, novels, and happen to have similar tastes to us, please grab that link floating in whatever URL bar above you, or I guess the share button below if you're on phone. Share it out with the only friend you probably have, and get them in here. We'll have a good time. And yeah. Are you ready yet, or are you still struggling?
I'm still struggling, but I can still talk.
Okay.
It's funny that you should say that because I watched a your boy Zach video today.
Oh yeah.
He said that conservatives are all lonely and how did he put it? Basically insecure, and they just want to hear stuff said back to them that they already.
I don't think that has anything to do with conservatives.
Yeah.
I think that's just people on the internet in general, right? Like anybody who's terminally online is probably like that.
Yeah, I think that's actually what he meant. The way it came out was, like saying all conservatives, but I think he meant the ones that watch, very long live streams with conservative, content creators.
Yeah, I mean, because I could find equally lonely people on the other side of the fence, too. If somebody, like, watches a Destiny stream or something. It's just terminally online people. You leave the internet, you go to any place where anybody else meets. First off, you really stop caring about somebody's political beliefs when you're hanging out with them in person at a bar. Secondly, anybody who's actually in a communal place is probably just happier, just in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was funny because I was, obviously watching this and I'm thinking, wow, that's really harsh. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, well, I don't really watch those live streams anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm not lonely anymore. He might be right.
Maybe. It is a way that some people fill in,
Yeah, it could be. All right, you ready? You prepared to be dazzled?
Probably not going to be, but good luck.
What do you think I have in my background?
Well, you're muttering the words "A Link to the Past" before, so.
Oh, no, but that's not this show.
Or not "A Link to the Past," Link's Awakening. I don't know. Let's see, this show. Well, I don't know why you were muttering about video games on this show.
Well, because you were clearly playing music from A Link.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was. But listen, we've got news about the Zelda movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if you had picked a Zelda thing for that.
No, it's this. Comes up anytime soon.
Nah, it probably won't.
Sometime. There we go.
Oh, it's Happy.
With a bra on his head.
Yeah.
Opposite.
That's common. He usually has a bra on his head,
But anyway, we'll get to that, I'm sure.
Probably in the second half of the show. I realize if we do start talking about the things that we watched, we don't get around to the news. So we should probably start with the news every time and then get to the things that we watched.
Probably.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. The first news, how are you doing?
Oh, good. Fine.
Good? Excellent.
Hey, it's there's something different happened today.
Oh.
At work. I actually screwed something up for once.
That's abnormal. Okay.
It's fine. Yeah. I was editing something late on a Friday. Well, it wasn't really my fault. Nobody told me that this would happen, but something was supposed to run on Sunday, and it broke basically because of a change I made.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I fixed it, so yeah, no harm done. Everything's
So I think we'll actually start with some comic book news. This is something that I've been meaning to talk about for like maybe the last 2 or 3 Mondays, but I keep forgetting. But I remember this time it's been going on, and I remember to talk about before the campaign ended. But do you remember the show SWAT Cats?
vaguely.
Vaguely. Oh my God, it was such a
Very
good
vague.
show. I love SWAT Cats. But it was one of those shows that,
It was in the 90s, right?
yeah, I think so. I remember watching it growing up. It was very, very early on. I think very early. And its block got replaced with Captain Planet, believe it or not. But
Oh, jeez.
SWAT Cats is an example of one of those series where it was an amazing, action-packed, takes no shit from anyone type series that boys specifically loved. But got canceled after like a single season, but kept re-airing. Like they syndicated it for way longer. Like you would think the show was longer than it was just because of how often it aired. But it got canceled after like a single season. And I loved it. It was about these two like grease junkies named Razor and T-Bone. And they had alter
T-Bone.
egos. Yeah, T-Bone. And they had these alter egos where they would get up in these like pilot strike suits in this jet that they made themselves, and they'd go and fight crime as the SWAT Cats in New Cat City. Loved the series growing up. Hate that it got canceled. Well, the original creators have the rights to their story and decided that they're going to make a comic continuation of it. I don't know why they're only doing that now, right? Especially with like Kickstarters and stuff like that being a way to continue your work being around for a long time. Maybe there was some problem with Cartoon Network in the past where they couldn't because of like joint rights or something like that. But they're doing it now. There's like 18 days left on the campaign. It looks really good. I think it's just picking up like right where the cartoon left off. And I loved SWAT Cats so much.
Apparently, it is available on Apple TV.
Is it? I'm going to go rewatch it.
Other places as well. But it went 2 seasons, but two very short seasons for 1993. Each season only had 13 episodes. So that's normal for now. But
that's probably why I thought it was only one
back
season.
Then, yeah.
Because that's like a normal season.
Usually,
like
I guess, yeah, like the 90s would have 26 episodes. In the 80s, it would be like 52 episodes for a season.
Well, there was a lot of stuff that in the 80s were still only
like Smurfs,
like 24, 26. It depended on what type, what was your airing schedule, right?
Yeah.
If you were a primetime thing, then yeah, back in the like 60s through 80s, you probably could have gotten like 50 episodes a year, right? But if you were not primetime, that's where like the 26, 24 episode standard started going, was from the side series. Now that's not even standard.
This one only had 13. This one only had 13 episodes a season, but went for 2 seasons.
Yeah, hey Fizz, hey Mike.
At least 2 years. Interesting. Wow, apparently this was announced on July 23rd.
Yeah, it was announced a while back.
This was announced 10 years ago. That's crazy.
And they just never got around to it.
Wait. No, they did one 10 years ago.
Oh, did they? I have never heard about that until literally just now. I only know about the current one.
Yeah,
I know about it because I kept seeing commercials for it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Commercials where?
On like Twitch and YouTube and stuff. Like I would see ads for the SWAT Cats comic.
Wow. Amazing.
With like the voice actors.
I didn't know about this either.
They like asked him to come in and do ads for them. He's like, hey, can you help promote the comic since you used to voice act on the show? And like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Um, let's see.
They did a really badass theme
What? How
song.
much did they? I'm trying to see how much they. Oh, okay. So in 2015, they had a campaign where their initial goal was 50,000, and they made 141,000. But that was not enough, according to their stretch goals, to even produce one episode.
Oh.
Um, so I guess it was a.
Oh, they were trying to do a
I guess they were
continuation
looking
of the
to produce a new
series.
series.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this time they're doing
Yeah.
a comic book where their goal was 40,000 and they made 10 times that with so far there's $421,365 with 3,759 backers. And honestly, a comic book is probably the safer way to go. Animation is really, really hard to get off the ground, even if you're an established property.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that they ever actually did anything with their original Kickstarter, because apparently they pitched it to everyone and everybody passed on
Yeah.
it. So I don't know what they actually did with the 141,000. I guess they did. Oh, they did basically all they could do was a 2-minute long trailer. So
What they should have done,
that's
right, is they should have still produced
it?
an episode, but if they couldn't do it as an animation, they should have done it as like a storyboard animatic, just so they could get the thing out to the people that paid for
well,
it. Yeah.
they probably did, but I apparently didn't release it. Like I'm sure they must have in order to pitch it, or maybe they just took the trailer to Hulu and Netflix and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody wanted it.
And that's the other problem, right? Is trying to actually get it onto a network. Of course, this was also
Yeah,
a
they
decade
need
ago.
funding.
Now what you do is you just kickstart your pilot and you put it straight on the internet and say like, fuck it, the things
Yeah.
belong with the internet now.
Yeah, and then you get ad revenue if you put it on like YouTube or something,
And then use the ad revenue to pay for the next episode.
then yeah, and then you eventually get picked up by Netflix.
Yeah, yeah. Or merch. Merch also helps pay for the next episode, more so than the ad revenue. But it's kind of hard to get merch out to people if you don't have a program running, right? Like, you could put it at the end of the program, like, hey, we've got T-shirts. Oh, I see Mike wants to say something. I need to know what you want to say before I let you on, Mike. That's how we run it. We need to know what people want to say before I let anybody on.
Yeah. So, man, there's no link. Maybe there is. There's a link to a story about the Kickstarter. God,
Oh, I have the Kickstarter link up on my
I just saw
browser right now.
Oh. I need to start using Grokpedia. But they have a better article.
Fizozo asks, how safe would it be to crowdfund Romo and Crim? Probably, I mean, depends what you mean by safe, right? Like, that's a weird way to ask. How successful? Probably not at all. Because nobody knows you or the property. That's just, sadly, that's how it is. You could still end up getting fun, but you're just playing uphill. Like, you're running uphill in that case. You had something to say about the SWAT Cat episode counts. That's not important. I mean, thanks for wanting to say something, but we're moving on from that.
Well, yeah, I can't find man. They really need to keep working on Grokpedia. Apparently, they don't even have a SWAT Cats article. You had something to say about the SWAT Cats episode?
Count. Specifically, the episode count. We've moved way past that.
Oh. I see anything either.
Okay, it says connected. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully that didn't start a new stream or anything. If it connects fast enough, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, it was a general hiccup because I
Mm-hmm.
saw the same thing. Just trying to bring up this Kickstarter page. But you could certainly say something in the chat about the episode count, Mike. Anything?
Yeah, well, like I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't want to talk about it too long because it is kind of old at this point. Like back in October was when I first saw this, and I kept forgetting to talk about it until bringing it up. There's still 2 weeks though.
Yeah, 18 days. Interesting. I wonder who they're getting to do the comic. I've never heard of any of these people other than the creators. Well, that's neat. I guess check it out.
Yeah. Like I even shared it with a few people weeks ago, personally, that I thought would be interested in it, and I just kept forgetting to talk about it.
Yeah. There's even a hardcover. Well, okay then.
Yeah. You said I felt that there was something you guys might have wanted to know about episode counts and the difference between 13, 52, or 65 episodes in a season.
65? What is 65?
Oh, like the Flintstones? They had really long seasons. Technically, what makes a season, there's two things that are in joint that defines what makes a season. Right? It's the continuous run without a break, but that's actually just a byproduct of what happens. It's not what actually defines it. It's what gets purchased as a season. When they the network purchases the season, they purchase an episode count from you. So whatever got purchased for that is the season count, even if it rolls into the next year.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if I don't put a ton of what do you call it, faith in what your boy Zach says these days, but I just happened to watch 2 videos of his back to back for the first time in months, and interestingly, I think he's right. He was saying how nobody, even in Comicsgate, is getting anywhere near the numbers they were getting a few years ago. Like, they're lucky if they can get 1,000. Like, the biggest people can't even get 1,000.
Oh, well, that's also just more. There was a big bump for a lot of people during COVID, right? Like, some of them were still hitting big right before it, but everybody saw their numbers go up during COVID, especially because a lot of people had a lot of time and a lot of expendable money during COVID. And that stuff has slowly started to regulate, especially as a lot of people, some slower than others, got their lives back into flow. They started spending their time and money on other things. And also, with specific people, started getting burnt by people they thought they used to like. But it's not even necessarily about getting burnt. You can look at like Kickstarters or all kinds of crowdfunding across the board. There are some massively successful things, but rates are down across the board for everyone, even outside of comics.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I will say Cyberfrog 3 is pretty big, but it's got like a million different things. It's not just the comic.
Yeah, you remember like
it's mostly
when we started all this
swag
stuff
and stuff,
and we were complaining that Marvel and DC were inflating their prices and their sell count by forcing LCSs to buy 5 normal covers for every variant cover, and it would just make the book sold to store number bigger. I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing with their Kickstarters now, where they're abusing that, like, the whales in their audience are people who want to collect everything, so they're just putting a bunch of stuff on the same Kickstarter, and it makes
Yeah.
the crowdfunding thing look bigger because it's like, well, I need to get all of the different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Here's a recent one that has 986 backers, which, you know, any fairly unknown indie creator would love, but for someone so well known, to not even be able to break 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I guess the heyday is over.
Oh, Mike, you know what the unfortunate thing is? I basically said that exact same thing you typed in chat, like, right before you came in here when we started the topic. Like the thing you were trying to say, I pretty much said the exact same thing. Where he said it would be quicker for me to tell you than just type it here. But he's like, we're talking about the 13 episodes are usually for, like, Saturday morning cartoons, while 65 episodes were for syndication. Like, I basically said that at the start of the topic when we were first talking about the seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this must have been a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Cartoon. I never watched it, but I remember it, like commercials. And I guess because it came out like right before I went to college, and I kind of didn't watch many Saturday morning cartoons in college. But hey, they've made $421,000. They might break 1 million. I mean, considering the way Kickstarters usually go, where they zoom up at the very end.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll hit $1 million.
Fischoso asks, how many variant covers are we going to have on these comics? I don't know. Because even the only ones that ever really sell are the number ones, right? But the LCS still feel like they have to get it because they'll have a few select clients that want the variant cover for everything. And it's like, well, I got to keep that client. That guy is like one of the few people keeping me, like, my doors open. But then they have to buy all of these other comics just to get that variant cover for that one comic guy. And it's usually not worth it.
Yeah.
More often than not.
I'm trying to figure out, because this campaign is so huge. I mean, it just scrolls on and on and on.
Yeah.
So I can't even tell, but I mean, I see they've got, soft cover and a hard cover. It's like graphic novel size. It's not like a floppy. I see cover B, cover C, cover D. Oh my God. F.
See, I just want cover A in any comic. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like they've got at least 6 different covers, 2 different, soft and hard covers. So that's 12 different versions. There's an artist edition that's black and white. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. I get it, Mike. I get it.
Oh,
you wouldn't have come on unless you felt you had something important to add. I get it.
There's a foil edition. There's only 100 of those. A metal edition and a glow-in-the-dark edition. Of each of the 6 covers.
That's ridiculous. That's unnecessary.
That's so let's see. 6 times 3 is 18. Times 2 is 36. So there's so far 36 different versions of the same comic.
Do we get a version that just comes with, like, matte pages? I don't want all this fancy stuff in my comic. I just want to be able to read it.
Then there's 6 t-shirts, a bunch of other swag. Man, no wonder they made $400,000. There's something for everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
Posters, stickers.
Yeah, I guess, like, having a bunch of options for merch on there, though, if the problem is that unintentionally it abuses collectors, right? Because there's some people who can't not get everything. Like, they just don't have it in their system to not get everything. But, like, if you know you have a lot of fans who just aren't interested in a comic, it is good to have options for them to just be able to buy a t-shirt or something if they still want to support it. At the same time, though, having to print up a bunch of t-shirts, if they're not some bonus that everybody's getting anyway, is a completely separate cost. And if you weren't selling those t-shirts to people, whatever backing they did put would have went to the comic instead. So that's kind of like a trade-off that ends up balancing itself out.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're a really super duper SWAT Cats fan, and like maybe to the point where you're a SWAT Cats furry, because furries tend to be suspiciously wealthy,
That's true.
there is a $5,000 tier that you can. Good luck with.
You know, it makes sense, but up until this exact second, when you said that, I never once even put two and two together that furries would like SWAT Cats. Right? Like, it's obvious that they would. My brain just never went there.
Well, the only reason I went there was because of the $5,000 price tag, and I was like, "Who would be able to afford that?" Oh, I know, furries. Yeah. They can afford that. That's right.
Like it. Yeah, I would like to go back to my brain not being there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is going to be a comic book read-along table podcast with the original voice actors of the 93-94 TV show. It will be available for free.
For free?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what's also cool? Because we do need to start moving on to other things. This is not news, technically, sort of, but it's a recommendation that I think everybody should go watch. I'm trying to remember the exact name, but on Halloween, and I forgot to watch it until this last week, I guess it's an episode, an indie show on YouTube that I've been watching the shorts and the build-up for months, and it finally came out, called My House is Haunted, but the Rent is Cheap. Put out the first episode, and it's hilarious. I recommend everybody go watch it if they haven't seen it. It is that really classic style of high effort, low budget type stuff that you want to see on the internet, where a bunch of it could just be a bunch of different sketches or clips or stuff put together, just woven as an episode. I think it's like 15 minutes long. It's something that you might expect to see like an Adult Swim or whatever lengthwise, but it's funny. It's just like they're shooting a documentary about this haunted house, and the guy who lives there is like taking them through. It's just all the weird things about the house, and it's like, yeah, you know, it's haunted and you nearly die every night, but rent's like $50. So
yeah, $50 a month.
Yeah. $50 a month. Yeah, sure. Move into a haunted house, right?
Yeah. Put up with that.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's a great one. I recommend everybody to check it out. Not going to talk too much about it right now. This is more of just a recommendation, especially because like one of those things, to talk about it, you pretty much have to spoil all the jokes. So it's better to just go in and watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's on We Made It Together.
Mm-hmm.
It's the name of the YouTube channel. It looks freaky, but I haven't actually watched it, so they may be just setting up with some funny stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, it is hilarious. And that was one, I remembered about it because it was Kickstarted, too, or crowdfunded. I don't know if it was specifically on Kickstarter, but it was crowdfunded. And there will be more episodes, but they finally got the first episode out.
Cool. Well,
let's see.
I think
I
should have looked up. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say the elephant in the room. Well, actually, maybe that'll be several movies later. I don't think the elephant will be in this one. Mario Galaxy has some updates to it. The movie that will be coming out. We know we're going to be having a direct. Was it this Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember. sometime this week, there will be a direct just for this movie, where we will learn more about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think the first full trailer will be in that direct as well. They had to warn people there will be no game discussion about like any video games in the direct, because I guess if you don't warn people, they'll think, oh, well, maybe this is about the Mario Galaxy remake that just came out. It's like, no, it's about the movie. Unfortunately, it has the same name, so it's confusing for people. But yeah, I think. Where is it? My brother sent it to me. He sent me the date. I can figure out exactly where it is just by looking at her DMs.
You know, people are going crazy about Chainsaw Man hitting 158 million at the box office
Wednesday,
but that's not even close to the top. I mean, that's 18th in terms of top grossing anime. Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, Wednesday, like 6 California time in the morning. We will get more information about Mario Galaxy. I think we'll only get a teaser trailer, though, from what they're saying. It's rumored right now that the first full trailer will be attached to the opening of Wicked for Good later this month. So I don't know anybody who's going to end up seeing this trailer in theaters. We're probably just going to wait till like the next day after the movie comes out and it's up on YouTube or whatever. Because I don't know how many people are going to go see the sequel to Wicked. We're gonna make a fan fiction sequel to a fan fiction prequel of a beloved movie version of a book.
Wouldn't the sequel just be The Wizard of Oz?
No, it would just be in between. Like it's like a pre-sequel or whatever, you know?
Oh. But the movie starts at the end of the prequel.
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know too much about Wicked
the
for
movie.
Good. Yeah. Maybe it does. Or
Maybe
it's like a Lion King 1 1/2. Maybe it's happening at the same time.
Yeah. In fact, actually, if you've ever seen Wicked, the movie takes place throughout the second half.
Yeah.
Of the play.
Well, I haven't seen the movie.
So,
I've seen the play.
You haven't seen the movie Wizard of Oz?
No, I thought you were talking about the movie for Wicked. I've seen the play for Wicked. I've never seen the movie for it. No, I've seen the Wizard of Oz like 100 times.
I'm saying the Wizard of Oz takes place during the second half of Wicked, so the sequel would have to take place after the Wizard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Wicked for Good.
Okay.
I'm not interested. He's like,
the first one did so well.
Yeah, I guess. They probably started working on this before they even found out how the first one came out. They thought they're going to make a whole franchise out of this thing. It's just like, it's the weirdest chain of fan fictions ever, right? Because you could argue the adaptation of Wizard of Oz is already a fan fiction because it's very, very different from the books that it adapted. But it's a beloved thing. And then Wicked itself is like a fan fiction attachment to the movie version of Wizard of Oz, which I guess is already the live play musical that already existed before the movie came out. But still, and then they adapted that into a movie, and now they're adding another thing of fan fiction on top of a thing of fan fiction. Because there is no extra stuff.
You might be surprised.
No.
Because I was shocked to find out that the movie actually grossed $750 million.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. It made $756 million worldwide. So maybe that's why they're doing a sequel.
Maybe.
I guess
this says Wicked couldn't even legally reference the 38 movie. I hope that's true. I'm gonna take your word on that, but because I want to believe that. If I was the property owner of the Wizard of Oz, what property they can own, I think it's mostly in the public domain. I wouldn't want them to be able to legally reference it either.
Yeah. I will say, The stage play, like the musical,
Yeah.
was actually pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Saw it live.
It was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. The original book is public domain.
Yeah, yeah.
The 1939 movie is not. Man. The original novel, wow, that was when
It's
that
really old.
came out, but 1900. So it became public domain in 1956. It's been public domain for a while. So.
No, I actually believe it was.
Yep.
The copyright was given away immediately by the owner.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I believe he made it the equivalent of open source. Like I from what I've heard, the Wizard of Oz has always been public domain.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. That's just what I've been told, all the time. But
well, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can choose to do that as a creator if you want to. I just don't know anybody who chooses to do that.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, you could. Whether you can or whether he did.
Apparently, Frank Baum kept the copyright as long as they possibly could.
Oh, okay. So I've always heard wrong about that.
1909. Yeah.
Okay.
According to, I guess, copyright used to be 28 years, up to 14 more if the copyright owner wanted to. It was changed in 1909, and they indeed renewed it for another 28 years. So that's why it became public domain in 1950.
Okay. Yeah, so I've just always been told wrong about that. Because you can, though, if you wanted to. You could declare something public domain.
Sure.
This is not a case of somebody doing that then.
Yeah. It's crazy that these copyright laws have just been extended and extended. Crazy. To the point where each successive book in the series was took decades more to become public domain.
Oh. Yeah, I could believe that. I could definitely believe that, yeah.
Anyway. It's now 95 years. Copyright goes for 95.
That is irrational.
I mean, obviously, well beyond. I mean, I think it was done for companies more than people.
Of course.
Probably
It
mostly
was Disney that mostly did the lobbying for that, yeah. They're not the only ones. Obviously, there were other people involved over time, but it was mostly Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to the point where the third Oz book was published 3 years after the second one, but it didn't become public domain for another 23 years. So, anyway.
Yeah. See, Mike
And
had
the most
something to
recent
say.
one won't be public domain until 2071.
And I think I'll get to what Mike said, but we won't be getting to anything related to that topic until near the end of the stream. But he recently decided to give the original Ranma 1/2 series a chance, and he realized that Ocean Studios had done the English dub for 3 different of Rumiko Takahashi's works, Inuyasha, Ranma 1/2, and My Son Ikoku. Yeah, they used to do all of them. In general, like they used to just get dubs for Toei in general, and a couple of the other studios attached to them, like Studio Dean was the one who did, I think, all 3 of those works at the time. but Studio Dean was attached to Toei when it came to overseas contracts. So Ocean just used to do a ton of those dubs. I had my favorite voice actor working at their studio, which was Richard Cox.
Why don't you call her Takahashi Rumiko?
Well, I called her Rumiko Takahashi because that's the way he wrote it in his comment.
Oh. But you always call her Rumiko Taka. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is she refers to
saga?
herself internationally as Rumiko Takahashi because she knows when you talk to people overseas that you put the given name first. And there's a few people from her generation that are just like very worldly mangaka, where they were always interested in things happening overseas. But obviously, locally, it would be Takahashi Rumiko, or if you actually want to be more polite, you would call her Takahashi-san. Or Takahashi-sensei. A lot of people call her Takahashi-sensei, just out of the signs of respect. But yeah, we'll be getting to that later. We're going to talk about the Great Filter episode of Ranma in just a little bit. I do have a couple other things we want to get. So yeah, we were talking about Mario. There was a leak about that too. Sort of, where Pillsbury Cookies might have given away some information about the movie, including the iconic location of the Super Mario Galaxy's Cosmic Observatory. I don't know why, if it's called Galaxy, you wouldn't just assume that the location was in the movie anyway. That's almost kind of common sense. But also that there will be a different villain for Mario. I haven't seen the box, so I don't know which villain they're talking about. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, Bowser Jr.'s on the box. So they're just going to be introducing Bowser Jr. Through this movie. And obviously Yoshi's on the box too, but we all knew Yoshi was going to be in the movie. Since the first teaser was kind of almost a bait and switch, starting with the Super Mario World theme.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question.
Although,
what do you think? Do you think that, I mean, obviously they're probably going to pull a celebrity in to voice Yoshi no matter how they do it, but do you think Yoshi might have a little bit of a goofy voice, but he's just going to talk normal sentences, right? Which is what Yoshi's text always is in the games, right? Like, there are games where he doesn't make normal sounds, but his text is always just fluid written sentences, even back in Super Mario World, right? Where it's like, Bowser captured me and put me in this egg.
Yoshi.
He's the one who wrote the tutorial message at the very beginning when you go to Yoshi's house and hit his mailbox. And he does talk to you when you get the first Yoshi.
Okay.
He said, Bowser captured me on the way to his castle and trapped me in this egg while I wanted to go, like, find my friends or something. Like, Yoshi's always spoken in full sentences in the games. So do you think they're going to go with that, where he just has a normal one? Or do you think they're going to go, like, the Scooby-Doo route?
The Scooby-Doo route. Well, I mean, he still talks. I would have guessed that he wouldn't talk at all. That he'd just be like, meow, meow, like when he, swallows stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Yoshi,
but I was wondering if Keegan-Michael Kay would be his voice.
Yeah, yeah. He even says his name.
Yeah.
In some games, like verbally.
Oh yeah. He just. He's kind of like a Pokemon.
Yoshi. Yeah.
That should be all he says.
But
in my opinion.
So the only time that I've heard broken Yoshi speech is one of the few games where Yoshi's a baby, though. And I think it's just because they're babies, right? So in Yoshi's story, the Yoshis actually sing to you in between the stages. When you go to the next one, they sing a song where they're telling you to be careful. And you actually hear audio of them going like, be careful. and there's like a little song, and it sounds like really bad, but part of it is because it's on the N64. The other part is that they're supposed to be babies that can't really speak very well.
Hmm.
I think people just assumed for some reason because of the sounds, like the and all those different things that he does, that Yoshi can't talk. But the games clearly lay out, if you're paying attention, that Yoshi speaks like anyone else. You go up to the top of Peach's castle in Mario 64, where Yoshi gives you all those free guys, and he's got a text bubble above him like anyone else with just full sentences in it.
Well, people think Link doesn't talk either.
Yeah, that's true. Even though, like, everyone knows Link's name. It's like, well, how else did they learn his name if he didn't introduce himself to them?
Yeah.
You just don't get to see the things that Link says.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that in the story about the Pillsbury cookies, they're like, Rosalina might be in it.
I would hope.
You think so?
Is it Mario Galaxy without her?
Yeah. I'm like, well, I think we all guessed that.
We're just going to delete all the Lumas. There's no Luma at all that show up. Even though there was one that showed up, a very crazy captive one in the previous movie. So it would be kind of messed up for there not to be Lumas in this one. Everybody loved the kooky Luma that was like, we're all going to die.
Yeah. Were there Lumas in any game before Galaxy?
No. That was where they were introduced.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they were doing that as like a setup.
It was going to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, that Luma's weird. Because there's too many star things in the Mario universe. That, like, too many sentient or sapient stars in the Mario universe. Right? Like, the power stars are implied to be alive, but also intelligent. And there's also... This, unfortunately, Nintendo published it, but it's affected the universe. There are star people in the Paper Mario games. They were basically like power stars if they were just normal people. So they had clothes and mustaches and stuff like that. Of course, but there's also a power star that talks to you in Mario Party 3. Or no, was it? Yeah, it was 3. The Millennial Star. So they kind of already set that up themselves, too, to happen. What's the difference between the Starman and Luma at the end of the day, though? They're just like floating star things from space with eyes that can talk to you.
Yeah. Does Mario have to eat a star to?
I don't think so.
Become invincible.
I think it kind of just
he touches Luma,
goes into them. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you don't.
Someone put up a fake character card that says The Rock is going to play Rosalina.
No, but you know what? If The Rock played Yoshi, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. How about Kevin Hart as the Honey Queen?
Why? I don't know. Maybe you could do it. Levi Stubbs played the what's it called? Mother Brain from Metroid. So, I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah. Oh, somebody took the poster of Super Mario Galaxy with the the toads in the boats watching the star bits falling, and put it into the Grok Imagine and animated it. It looks so cute. Great. It's funny.
Yeah.
Can animate anything for 6 seconds.
In related Nintendo news, we did hear from Sony that the Legend of Zelda movie is currently filming. They are in the filming process of the movie. So that's kind of exciting. I'm definitely more interested in this than the next Mario movie. Like, I'm going to watch Mario Galaxy no matter what. I'm not going to steer away from it. But for my
Hmm.
expectations built on it from the last movie versus, I don't know, this Zelda movie sounds like it could be kind of cool, especially looking at the fact that they're actually treating the casting pretty seriously. I'm kind of more just excited for the Zelda movie.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared for the Zelda movie. Although I do like the look of the actors they picked. So
I'm not scared.
positive. Why would Sony want to make a Zelda movie? Why not?
Yeah, I don't even think the second half of your question has anything to do with the first half. Nintendo approached Sony Studios to make the movie.
Mm. You got to understand, a company as big as Nintendo always has multiple lawsuits going on all
yeah.
the time.
Sony's got multiple going on
100%
right
of
now.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't hear about them all. There's dozens of lawsuits always, so that has no effect on anything.
He says because Sony's
Yeah,
trying to make the
some
Power
are
World
more,
anime.
yeah.
That still doesn't matter. So this is a studio. They want money. They,
Yeah, they'll do both
listen,
if they can.
if Pocket Pair gets sued by Nintendo, Sony's not the one who loses out on that. It does not affect them at all. They're just here to make money from producing a series.
They're a
Or
completely
a
separate
movie.
company. Yeah.
Yeah. The better question would be,
I mean,
why would Sony want to work with Nintendo after they threw the PlayStation under the bus for the Philips CDI like 30 years ago? Well, I think Sony's moved past that since then, but at least that would have been a better question.
Yeah, and you gotta like, obviously it's a very different situation, but
Yeah.
like, just coming from someone who briefly had a contract with, Wizards of the Coast, we were never considered any part of Wizards. It was just we had a license. They basically gave us the license, and they gave us some rules and said, "Here, make an app." So it's kind of the same thing. Obviously, with movies, sometimes they want more, sometimes they want less control. That would all be in the contract, but they're completely separate companies. So what Sony does, on a Nintendo property has nothing to do with what they do on some other property. Or what Nintendo's doing in general. Unless they felt like it would be somehow detrimental to associate with Nintendo, but that's never.
No, I think
That's
actually it
never
would be
gonna be
the other way around, really, right? Like, if anything, Nintendo would try to
Yeah,
bully
more
Sony into
likely.
dropping the other project.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Nintendo necessarily like hates Pocket Pair. I think.
Oh, I
it's
think they do.
It's just business. You think?
I think they actually have a thing against them. It feels like it at this point. Because everything's very targeted specifically at them. Not even other people that might want to do the same thing. And I think it's because the threat's coming from within the same country. It's from their home turf.
Yeah. They are doing a lot better job at Pokemon than the Pokemon Company is.
In some
Or
ways.
Game Freak.
I mean, in many other ways, from what I've seen, I think they're doing a horrible job at Pokemon. But in some ways, they are doing a better job.
Mm-hmm.
But yep.
Man, what is up with our
Internet
network
today? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think things only ever get worse. Let's see. Speed run through a few other things so we can actually get to talking about the stuff we watched. That and also these other things just aren't that interesting. New Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer is up for people who are interested in that thing. You can go and watch that trailer. Things are looking like they're getting crazy. I didn't watch the first one. I'm probably not going to watch the second one. But it did well enough that I'm sure there are plenty of people who want to. Photos came out showing Raccoon City for the new Resident Evil movie. So that's pretty cool. They basically took Prague and they turned it into hell, more or less, you know. I think Prague was an excellent location to choose to shoot for it, too, because there's definitely plenty of areas in it that look old enough that you could turn it into a grungy Raccoon City. Good choice there.
Sure.
And the last one, Jimmy Olsen is getting his own Superman TV series spin-off. It's going to have him basically taking on Gorilla Grodd. It's like the wackiest premise you could choose to put in. I like Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I always thought that was a pretty good series of comics that focused on him. Yeah. I don't know how much from that stuff they're going to pull. I think it's going to be just mostly things they make up. Yes, Grodd is a Flash villain, but Jimmy has had some history with him, and pretty much everybody's just everybody's villain now in DC. Nobody is anyone's particular villain anymore, really, except for maybe specifically Joker's Batman's villain. That's about it. Even like Lex Luthor has become everyone's villain too. Despite associating him with Superman. It's just the problem of everybody's stories interacting with everybody. And it's been this way for half a century now, more or less. But yeah, he's going to have to somehow handle Gorilla Grodd.
Good luck, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. It'll work out. It always does for him.
Reminds me of which was it? Was it Man of Steel, where Jimmy just dies at the beginning? Just gets shot by a terrorist.
Oh, I don't remember. Because I don't think Jimmy was even in Man of Steel. Was it like was that in Returns?
No. Let me think. No, I think it was Batman versus Superman.
Oh, you know what? That would make sense.
I think that was it.
Fizz even says BVS too.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman is a fever dream to me. I barely remember what happens in it. There's like a few scenes. I watched the extended cut too with Buck in his living room. It's like the first time either of us had watched that movie.
There's an extended cut?
Yeah. None of the extended stuff mattered to it at all. Right? We had to ask people like, what were the scenes that we saw that weren't in the theatrical cut of the movie? There's apparently a scene where when Bruce is young in the cave, he just gets lifted up by bats and is like flying on a mesh of bats as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a Snyder thing. It doesn't have to make sense, I guess. Awful movie that I don't want to remember most of what happens in it.
Yeah, I just remember they turned Jimmy into a fake photographer who is actually a CIA agent, I believe, and they very quickly discover that he's got a bug in his camera or in the film, and they just shoot him. Like first 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
That's probably why I'm blocking that out. I like Jimmy. I think Jimmy is probably one of the best DC characters. He's definitely up there as one of my favorites. So even though I don't normally like watching most of this stuff, I didn't even particularly care too much for the Superman movie that we watched that this is spinning off of. I don't know. It'll probably be on Max, right? I think that's where it's going to be, or let me look. If it's available on something that we have access to, I might at least give an episode a try. Doesn't even say when it's on. I'm assuming it's going to be on Max. It'd be weird if it wasn't. Okay, that's all I got. Let's get into talking about the things we watched. Where do you want to start?
I don't think we can get to everything. But I don't know. What was the most interesting? I mean, we could talk about Ranma 1/2 since
Yeah.
somebody new came into the picture
I
a
am a
little bit.
little upset that this was the next episode. Not that it happened. Unlike a lot of people, I actually like Hapasai. I think he's funny. I also doubly like him because he pisses a lot of other people off. Not in world, he pisses people off out of world though, which just makes me like him as a character even more. We do refer to him as the Great Filter. I just felt like he should have come later because I thought that they should have actually just followed the pacing of the manga instead of splicing things out and moving them to later parts of the series. So the what's it called? The preface to this is that what should have been next should have been the breaking point arc, where Ranma and Ryoga separately go on training exercises off in the mountains to fight each other. Because Ranma had gotten too strong, and Ryoga is being used by the old crone to get back at Ranma. That's pretty much what was supposed to happen next. That's been cut out. That's been moved probably to season 3 at this point, so they could introduce Hapasai in this season. So we get to the episode where, due to a violent storm, a rock that has those like Shinto shrine seals on it, like the rope with all of the banners hanging from it, gets broken, and a monster is released from a cave. As we find out as he gets to town, that monster is actually just a perverted old man who's running around trying to grope any girl that he thinks could be Akane Tendo, which he does end up running into the actual Akane Tendo. He doesn't know it. Any girl could be Akane for all that matters to him right now. After their encounter with this old man, they take him back to their house to figure out why does he know who Akane is? Why is he important? Turns out he was the master that trained both Genma Saotome and Son Tendo, the parents of the main characters. And he's back to be just a bit of hell implanted into everybody's life. He's looking for somebody to be his actual successor. Neither of the parents who have been through his training before want to finish their training and become the successor to the Anything Goes School of Martial Arts, which in Japanese is actually called the School of Indiscriminate Grappling. That name makes a lot of sense when you know who Hapasai is. And they throw Ranma under the bus. It's like, look at this boy right here. He's the next generation. My son, he can be the successor to your style. And the rest of the episode is Ranma just trying to deal with Hapasai, who is doing everything from trying to get him to wear like lingerie while he's in his girl form, trying to dress up as Pichan and sneak into Akane's bed, even knocking Akane out at some point so they could have a little sleep together on the roof, which does bring them up to an issue with them moving the breaking point to season 3 that I talked about while we were watching it. By moving it away, it doesn't make sense why Ryoga can fight evenly alongside Ranma on the roof when they're attacking Hapasai, right? And this may not stand out to a lot of people who don't know the story. Like this, what I'm saying probably doesn't make sense. But one of the points to having both of them fight him at the same time is just to show off how powerful Hapasai is. But without the breaking point arc, where Ranma went through all of this training that made him so superior to Ryoga that Ryoga couldn't touch him. So Ryoga had to go to training in the mountain, which then Ranma had to go and keep up his training because obviously the old crone would be the type of person to be able to make Ryoga stronger than him. Going through all of this stuff, and then both of them getting easily defeated by Hapasai sets a scarier precedent for his character than just the version of Ranma and Ryoga that we already had before. I think this is the issue with messing up the author's pacing of the story. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm guessing this show is basically speed running through it. I mean, they're just
I mean, they hadn't been up
seems like
until
there's a
now.
lot fewer episodes. Oh, really?
Yeah, well, there's fewer episodes, but I would say they're speedrunning it. They're compressing it. They're still hitting all of the events up
Hmm.
until now. They were hitting all of the events. Um, the original series hadn't had too much filler, I think, at all up to this point. The filler doesn't really start coming into, like, I think, the second half of season 2 in the original series, which is what we would be approaching about now. Um, and I think their first filler was only a single episode before they went right back to normal storytelling. But they would take what we saw and they would decompress it out to multiple episodes. So something that would have been like a 1 or 2 episode story in this version would have been a 2 or 4 episode story in the other one. That's more or less what was happening. So I wouldn't say they're speed running it. They're compressing it, but they're actually going about the pace that the chapters were going. The other was a almost intentionally decompressed story. So a lot of the filler was them adding bits and jokes to stories and events that weren't in the original manga. This was kind of just sticking to what was in the manga, more or less. But this
Yeah.
is our first major discontinuity because they literally cropped out a story that is super important. Like, they're going to have to get back to it. The Bakusei Tenketsu, or the breaking point, is important to a ton of things that happen later on throughout the entire series.
Hmm. Is it? I don't know. Maybe they thought it wasn't very interesting.
Yeah. I think, from what I've heard, a bunch of people's ideas. There have been no leaks or rumors coming from the inside of the studio, but a lot of people have speculation that the studio might have thought that we've already spent too much time with Cologne, Shampoo's grandmother, and wanted to get around to introducing other people. Because Apasai and Ukyo Kuonji have been introduced in the title sequence for this series and in the trailer for this season. That they want to get to introducing these characters, and then they'll find some other way of working that story in after they've introduced those characters. That is the feeling that I'm seeing going around.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that's a mistake. I think we could just wait for the characters to be introduced when Takahashi introduced them. I think that's a proper way to tell the story.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm seeing, yeah, people are hoping it'll be in season 3 because
It's very important.
apparently it is quite important.
Yeah. Ryuga uses the Bakusei Tenketsu for, like, everything later on, too. Like, he'll get mad and randomly shatter an entire wall or build, like, support beam or something. And it's like, I guess you just assume it's something he learned on his own if they don't cover it. But it has a lot to do with the development of both characters, their philosophy as characters, too. Ryoga starts getting into the path of basically being a tank, right? Like, I'm durable. It's hard for you to hurt me. I'm going to be going into strength and durability. While Ranma starts moving more into the path of technique and speed, right? It's like, I'm going to hit you 100 times in the same spot, and eventually I'll hurt you or something like that. Like that shows their philosophy as fighters. It is actually a very important story for the characters. I think Mappa would be insane to not get back to it.
Yeah. Is that what Shampoo uses to break through every wall since she can't seem to use the doors?
They never actually say if Shampoo is using the breaking point or not. I think Shampoo is literally just a brick. Because she doesn't ever say the words Bakusei Tenketsu. She doesn't put her fingers out and hit a breaking point. She just walks into the structure, and through sheer force alone, it explodes. Like, she just brute forces herself through everything.
Yeah. Well, and that's apparently also the arc where Akane's inability to cook is revealed.
Yes, that is when it's introduced, because as I told you, Genma takes Akane with them training because, like, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have some home cooking by a lovely woman while we're out here? And he's like, it is his fiance, so it makes sense to bring her, even if, neither of them want to ever admit that they like the fact that they're engaged. But then, like, the second they taste her food, they put their plates back down and like, oh, well, yep, time to go back to training. Because Akane can't cook. At all. It's like almost a paranormal inability to cook. Which it's kind of a running gag for tomboyish characters.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be funny because Akane is what you would call like a de facto tomboy. She's not like a super tomboy. She's just a very sporty girl who's not very good at girly things, but she still likes girly things. Like she's very fashionable. She has a lot of cute things in her room. The actual tomboy character is going to be showing up maybe even next episode, I think. Next episode might be the one where Ukyo comes in. But Ukyo's the real tomboy character. We're going to be introduced to her. And her eternal struggle to create the perfect okonomiyaki.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny you should say that because, Yor from Spy Family has some sort of supernatural ability to not be able to cook.
Yeah. And she's kind of also, you might call like a de facto tomboy, where it's not like she's like a super tomboy or anything, but she is a very like athletic, sporty person with like superhuman strength. Even though she does like some girly things, she's the same type of tomboy that Akane is.
Yeah.
Except she's a much sweeter person. Akane can be sweet. I guess nobody's ever given Yor a reason not to be sweet to her, unlike Akane. And Yor's an adult, so she's just more mature in general.
But she cooked the same way when she was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
When she was taking care of her brother. And for some reason, he just loves it, even though it makes him throw up every time.
Oh, that's because he has a very unhealthy, like, almost attraction for his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell she does to the food. It always turns out with some purple haze.
It's probably the same thing that happened to Akane. This is a very old trope in like manga and anime, right? Where like Akane, I think she just can't focus when she's cooking, and it's almost like the battle sense takes over, right? So she won't notice that she substitute sugar for salt or something like that. But even there's sometimes where she does notice, it's like, I don't have the ingredient or whatever. This is a suitable substitute, isn't it? And then it's like something you would never put in there. It's like, it told you to put in wine for the cooking ingredient. So she puts in like white wine vinegar instead, which like, yeah, it's got the word wine in it. White wine vinegar is not a suitable substitute for actual white wine. Yeah. It's kind of cute how bad she is at cooking.
Amazed.
Like when you watch her cook and she gets so frustrated and she's like, well, not the first time. She's not frustrated at all. But like as she's trying to get better at cooking, she's getting like so frustrated and she's like attacking the food, which only makes it come out worse than it did before.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very
I'll be
important.
interested to see that.
Speaking of Yor, there was a new Spy Family as well. Which
we didn't really talk much about it, did we?
A very important short arc in Spy Family that I don't know. It's like 3 chapters long in the manga. So I don't know if they'll compress pretty much all of it to a single episode next time. Because you probably could. You could probably compress 3 chapters into a single episode if you wanted to. They're only like, that's what, 60 pages? You could compress 60 pages into a single episode. But it's the,
Sure.
the what's it called? The bus kidnapping or hijacking. The bus hijacking starts at the end of this episode. Yeah.
Right at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Anya had just kind of gotten good with, what's he called? What's she call him? Second son?
Second son, yeah. Damien.
Yeah, by protecting him from getting it to nitrous bolt. But she doesn't seem able to convert that so far into an invitation.
She's also like the worst enemy, like her own worst enemy, because she's like, she's like 4, right? And 4-year-olds can't comprehend how to like.
I think it's supposed to be 5.
Well, she needs to be 6. We don't know. She's either 5 or 4. We know she's not actually 6. Mm-hmm. She could be anywhere in that range. But like 4 or 5-year-olds aren't really good at thinking outside of themselves. When you're 4 is actually about when you first can start thinking outside yourself, but you're still not super good at it yet, right?
Yeah.
And she keeps wanting the reward that he promised, which she doesn't even say like whatever your reward is. She thinks it's going to be cakes. She just like put it in her own head that he's going to get her cake, right? He's like, I don't remember saying I was going to get you cake. just assume like that's what the reward is for helping you out. It's cake, obviously. But like she just comes in super aggressive. She doesn't know how to capitalize on anything because she's not even as old as the other kids around her. And most of the episode is just that. It's her failing to click. There's a couple other things that happen. There's a Lloyd story that I think actually takes up like half the episode. At the hospital, the psychology ward, psychiatry ward that he works at the hospital, with the chief of staff in his wing, being very envious of him and trying to get him taken away, thinking he's a spy. It is funny when you accidentally catch a spy just out of pure spite and envy, right? Because he doesn't actually think he's a spy. He's just trying to get rid of him in the way that you would use the secret police to get rid of people. But obviously the people who show up are his people the whole time. They make like a little deal out of it. And honestly, flip it around to where Lloyd looks like the good guy in this situation. And the chief of staff now really likes him. It's like, oh my God, you saved my ass.
Yeah, it is. People pretend to start to arrest him. The chief, I guess. I like how they have gotten back finally. It took a little while, I think, this season to finally get back to what's it called? Project Strix. You know, the main mission of the whole series, which was to get in good with this politician.
I mean, technically, they never.
I don't even know why exactly, but but they had all these little side things going on. But now we've got, Anya is maybe making progress with Son. Your last week became friends with the guy's wife.
Yeah.
In her social circles, and now Lloyd seems to have a new plan to try and get the guy assigned to him as a patient or something. Yes, Damien is the son. I always call him second son because that's what Anya calls him.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of zeroing in on the main mission.
Yeah, the little brat has the name the same as the other bat brat. Yeah, I don't like Damian Wayne as a character, but I don't want to get into that now. Damien is actually commonly a name that you give to somebody who's kind of a brat, right? stems from the word daemon, which has eventually become demon. It's not exactly what it means. It originally meant spirited, is what the name meant, but nobody really uses that name for that anymore. When you see it in fiction, you almost see it as a replacement for, or it would have been daimon originally. You see it as a replacement for demon, right? Like in, oh my God, what was the name of that movie? About the kid who's the Antichrist.
The Omen?
The Omen. That's it, yeah. That it was given that name, and that one they kind of just used that as a fill-in because he was supposed to be like a little demon. Good movie. I haven't watched it in years.
Comes from the Greek name Demianos, originally meaning to tame or to subdue.
Mm. Yeah, his name was Nemo. Which one am I thinking that it's Damien? Oh, you know what? I think Problem Child might have been Damien. There's one of these movies with like the little kid.
Yeah. No, the Omen.
It was The Omen? Okay. I was thinking of the right
Damien.
movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie since like, I don't know, 2002 or something like that.
Yep. In fact, the sequel, The Omen 2, is called Damien.
Oh, was it? Okay. I don't think I've even seen the sequel. I think I've literally only seen the original.
I don't know if I've seen the original, but
Yeah,
1976 is before I was born.
Yeah, I think like the last time I've seen The Omen was probably in like 2002. I was young. I was watching with my parents, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's getting good. I don't think the original plan for her to get the the Stellas, it's not working out so well. So they have a plan B and C now.
Yeah.
Although she's worried that if
I laugh at that
Anya
so
doesn't
much.
end up being, Anya thinks that if she doesn't end up basically being the reason they succeed at the mission, that she's going to be,
Sent
tossed
back to
aside or
the
something.
orphanage. But it's like,
Yeah. Although theoretically,
yeah,
just completing the mission at all,
will also send you back to the
Could-
orphanage.
yeah, theoretically, but
Yeah.
I think Lloyd is too into it now. He's too much. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if it's ever going to get to that point, but
Oh yeah.
it's going to
But,
be a
like,
rough
if she was
time
older, if she was like the proper age, maybe she'd be able to understand. I don't know. They're still pretty young. Like everybody else is a 6-year-old. That's not too much better. But maybe she'd be able to put 2 and 2 together. That the other route, Plan C with Yor, for that to work, they would still need a full functional family to get close to them that way. But because she's so young, she can't put 2 and 2 together. That no matter what route they take, Lloyd still needs the full family, so she wouldn't be thrown into a trash bin or something. I bet that's probably the picture that goes through her head too. Is that like literally would just like take her short self, drop her in a trash can, and put the lid down, and be like, "Oh, I can't get out."
Yeah, so it's a fine line. I guess that's part of what what the tension is that it can't fail utterly because then it's over, and it can't fully succeed because then it's over. It's just to continue,
Oh, it does make a lot of pace.
stringing Lloyd along.
They make a lot of gains throughout it, especially, I would say currently in the manga, because I don't know exactly where they are currently in the manga. I'm probably 15 months behind, because I don't think I have read a single chapter since I came to Arizona. But I am further ahead of where the show is. And they made a lot of gains where I left off. So it's slow, but it has to be a slow burn, right? And
Yeah.
even less gains, it's just, it gets more tense. Like you just find out things that makes the situation even harder than you would have thought it was going into it.
Mhm. Well, I'd be worried actually because I feel like if it was like an American show, that what they'd end up doing is completing the mission, but then deciding that it's still a good cover for
Yeah.
Lloyd and Yor, and then it would like turn into a completely different show.
Yeah, it would be
You know,
like Hoodwink
that's
2,
what happens too
right? Where they're
much.
like, "Oh, you guys work really well
Mhm.
together, so now you're just going to be like a team." It's like, but it doesn't actually make sense for any of the people in Hoodwink to work together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want it to like suddenly like move on to something different and have it just be a completely different show. They could string this out for several more seasons. Come to some conclusion where they decide to stay together anyway.
Well, I know a lot of people who read the manga and they're actually kind of not happy with the fact that it's just been stringing along. Like they just want them to get somewhere already. Even though, like, I don't know, where I left off, they've made a
See?
lot of progress. I think they have been doing what they need to do. It's just a very popular series, so they want it to keep running, and you have to inch by inch.
Yeah. See, that I think those people don't have enough experience because I've seen so many shows. I mean, Alias is a good example,
Yeah.
right? The first couple of seasons, I don't remember at what point. At some point, the whole show completely changed.
Yeah.
I know. At some point, basically, their headquarters, because the main character thinks that she's been recruited, I guess, by the CIA or something, but she's actually been recruited by like an evil group. Right?
Yeah.
At least that's at the beginning. But then she finds out, and then she's basically a double agent.
Mhm.
So the whole time she's a double agent, and it may have not even gone on as long as I remember it. It may have only been like 2 seasons. But at some point, they basically raid the whole, evil organization, kind of get rid of it, and then it becomes a completely different show. And it's like, wait, she's not a double agent anymore. This show sucks.
Well, I
That
think
was like
also
90% of the tension.
I've only heard the complaints from like Western readers. I haven't really heard a lot of complaints
Yeah.
from Japanese readers. I'm sure there are some. You don't have any series where people aren't complaining, but I don't know specifically what the local complaints are for the series. Most of the complaints I've heard, though, are a general, like, Western, mostly American pacing complaint. Like, they just don't like the way the Japanese narrative pacing is, I think. And they put up with it with battle shonen because there's a lot of fights and stuff. But, like, if you took the fights out and replaced it with any other type of drama or, like, plot problem that stops you from progressing, the pacing is about the same in this and in a battle shonen. Like it is just how the Japanese narrative pacing is, and it's just not for a lot of people. Like they just don't get the pacing. The longer it's been going, the more I've liked the series, because if you remember, the first like 3 episodes and their equivalent in the manga didn't really do anything for me. Like I thought it was a rough start, but after I got past that, it was growing on me. It's like, oh, once we actually get into the full plan, once we actually start doing the mission, I was enjoying it, and I've been enjoying it more and more the more it goes on, which is why I even read ahead in the first place.
I mean, if you don't like the pacing, have you ever seen Yu-Gi-Oh? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
They'll have a fight, they'll have a battle that probably takes about 10 minutes, but it lasts like 5 episodes.
Yeah, it's like, go play a Yu-Gi-Oh match. The longest match I've ever been in is like, I know they can go pretty long in the older days when like cards couldn't do as much, though one-turn kills have always been in the game. But like, the longest I've ever spent on a Yu-Gi-Oh match, real life, was 35 minutes, and it's because I had to explain to my younger brother what everything did every single time we were playing, because he was just too young to really understand, but he wanted to play, right? And he didn't understand.
And of course,
the
anime
rules
has
in the card game was different than the rules in the show. Like, the cards don't work the same in real life. That was a hard thing to get through a little kid's head that I had like 3 years on. But yeah, 35 minutes. That's a long one. Most games, they're fast, especially with people who have like meta decks. They don't last long at all because they know how, they're surfing, they're fishing through their deck to get the cards they want, and they end things in just a few turns, if any at all, right? One-turn kills are very, very common. They try to ban them out as much as possible in competitive play, but people try to build their decks to end the game in as little turns as possible. While an episode or like a chapter, well, not even a chapter, an arc, a single match in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is basically an arc, right? They can last 5 or 6 chapters. Like the regular battles, the ones that aren't the end of the season, can sometimes last 3 episodes on their own.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
No.
yeah, it's very. I've noticed it's very, very common. There's a whole episode that takes place in about probably less than 30 seconds of Frieren, fighting against Aura the Guillotine, because the entire episode is a gigantic flashback. And the actual current action is probably about 20, 30 seconds.
The best one, right? Actually, I don't want to mess up the episode count. Let me go look it up right now.
Also, I've been watching this, unlimited gacha show, and in this last episode, it's funny we were talking about this. He comes up against this guy, this elf who's killing humans, and it just goes on. I mean, just go ahead and defeat him. Like, you're gonna beat him. It goes on and on and on, and they're talking and talking and talking throughout the whole thing. And at the end, the elf says something, I don't even remember what, that surprises him, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, oh, "Great, we're not going to get to see the end of this fight until next season." Next
Dragon Ball Z, right? Specifically Z, right? We're getting to Goku's an adult and everything. Mm-hmm. In Dragon Ball, Goku and Frieza fight. At the beginning of the fight between Goku and Frieza, I think this is already a couple episodes in, but near the beginning of the fight, he throws a giant energy ball down into the planet, and he's like, in 5 minutes, this planet is going to explode. 18 episodes later, the fight ends and the planet explodes. Of course, they're fighting faster than the speed of light, so...
Yeah.
Though obviously they have to stop to talk, I guess, because there's no way sound can travel faster than the speed of light. But that's so bad. There is more than 5 minutes worth of talking in those episodes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, easily. Oh well. I've been actually reading the Frieren manga. We finally got through volume 2.
Yeah.
And I was actually kind of shocked they didn't even get to Aura.
They're reading the other person's lips.
They got...
There might be a level of telepathy happening sometimes, right? Because we know that the higher your ki gets, you actually can just straight up become telekinetic and telepathic. People just lift things with ki. Goku's like, Krillin, you don't have time to explain. When I show up to Namek, I'm just going to put my hand on your head and read your mind. It's like, I didn't know that was a power you had, Goku, but it makes sense with everything else in this world. People have become psychic when their ki gets strong enough before. So maybe. Yeah. They might actually be like moving out the sounds with their mouth and almost telepathically communicating. I'd buy that. Why not?
Before we end, by the way, because we're already 5 minutes past, what did you think of One Punch Man? Speaking of telekinesis, which happened, I thought this episode was the best of the season so far. I mean, there's a lot of cool action.
I think actually even less than the cool action was, even though it had the less exposition out of all the episodes this season. It had the best exposition out of all of the episodes in the season. It had the best explanations
Yeah.
for things that have happened so far.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of hinted at creating monsters out of humans by sort of breaking them down, and then but it didn't really get into it very much. And this one, he kind of basically said it. It's basically anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah,
That's sort of the idea.
more or less. But it's almost like almost referencing Dragon Ball. It's like the Zenkai boost that they get, where you have to basically approach death's door, but not die, right? And by doing so, you come back even stronger.
Yeah, and it seems that with these experiments, most people just die
Yeah.
at some point, as they've been trying. This guy's been trying to make monsters for a long time, and he's had some successes, but he's trying to get Garros,
Garo, the
Garo,
hero hunter.
Garo. Yeah, he's trying to make him even stronger than the gigantic demon. What is he called? The leader of the
Orochi.
Of the monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Orochi.
Who we did finally find out doesn't just sit
He's
the whole
crazy.
time. He was just kind of standing there looking like a demon, gigantic demon. Also, he breaks apart into these snake things, and he's
like a
horns that
he kind of almost looks like the beast that was described in Revelation. Yeah, but he's
he's
just
got
a
horns that can go all
dragon
different
snake
directions
monster that wraps himself together to still look like he has a human form.
Shoots laser out of every orifice that is, I guess, hot, and sets the entire room on fire.
And they also fought Poochie for a little bit.
I was wondering, like, it's so weird. Oh, yeah, the giant demon dog thing, which couldn't seem to kill him, but he couldn't really seem to do any damage to it.
You do hyper beam.
What's that?
It's a new hyper beam.
The dog did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't kill him. I mean,
No,
it kind of made him a little musty.
He's like a Pokemon.
Yeah. But that demon, like, it seemed like every limb was made up of a creature latching onto another creature. Like, its mouth, and so then it could break apart and turn into multiple creatures. It's really weird.
Well, I think it's almost the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it was already multiple creatures, and it just wraps together to look like it's a person.
I guess.
Yeah.
But he treats it like the psychic guy, Garo, treats it like he was one being.
Oh no, I
don't know.
I'm sure it is one being. But many creatures can be one being.
Yeah, I guess. Apparently so.
Yeah.
I'm glad they finally got rid of that kid. He is so annoying. Like, the kid that he was the Garo.
Garo.
How do you pronounce his name? Garo.
Yeah.
It's confusing because there's Garo and then there's
Gyoro.
Right? Gyoro. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
He's ostensibly there to rescue this kid that, is constantly getting bullied. And he will not run away when he tells him to. It's like, go, start running, you idiot.
Yeah.
He finally did. Ran right out of the show, and I hope he doesn't come back. I hated that kid.
Every time he showed up too, he's like the reason Garo got caught the first time by the heroes, like the A ranks that he fought before Bang and Bomb came around, because he helped that kid, but the kid wouldn't leave, right? With the whole shack that he was at. So it's like, dude, you were just a thorn in this guy's side perpetually, just because he feels pity on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite annoying.
Yep, there was that.
But
If we want to wrap up any brief things, really, actually, it was a pretty crazy episode of Chair Company, but it wasn't that revelatory. I guess we could talk about that next time because I'm sure
yeah,
some of the stuff from this one will be answered
this is
in the next
insane.
one. It was probably the craziest episode so far. I think they're just going to keep getting crazier. Hopefully, like
Yeah, I
I think it just
guess.
ramps up all the way until the end, and then it just falls off hard like a cliff, on purpose, like in a funny way.
Yeah.
And then we also watched Welcome to Derry, which not too much happened in this one other than us like realizing that that was Dick from The Shining, just younger, and he in like an astral shining mindscape space confronted Pennywise very briefly before being pulled out because he was going to like jump to his death.
Yeah, there was some interesting
Yeah.
exposition kind of stuff, so we learned a lot more. But yeah, not a lot of action. There's a little bit cemetery, but
Yeah, the cemetery. I mean, it was a pretty cool shot. I almost like the behind the scenes stuff, seeing how they do everything more than actually watching the episode.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's
But
like
I
this
think there'll
weird
be
connection.
more. I mean, yeah, they had,
It showed us
they
all
had to
the
have
way in
some.
the past, right? Like it was trying to show.
Yeah,
Actually, this almost upset me. This didn't need to be in the show. They wanted to like give this long history to what I'm assuming is the slingshot they used to kill Pennywise in the book. That it like
You imply
started
that.
through multiple people. It's in this show. It happened back in like 1908 or 06, whenever that beginning flashback was. It's like, what did we really need a history to the slingshot? Like, was that necessary at all?
What I really want to know is where did he get the shirt that he wore at
Yeah.
23 minutes into the movie? You know, and it's very important how to find that out. I don't know.
Oh well.
They always feel like they have to explain these
I know.
things. Like
It's
we didn't.
some
didn't
things
need
are
an
better if
explanation.
you don't explain them. Right? Like you're actually making something actively worse sometimes by explaining it.
Yeah, but at least, like I said, we got a lot more explanation on the guy at the base who is psychic, and the fact that he read the other guy's mind, discovered that he doesn't have the part of the brain that causes fear or that feels fear, and he decided, well, I'm not going to fuck with that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In fact, I think that's his exact words. I'm not going to fuck with that guy. So, yeah. He's decent. Hopefully more will happen next week. I'm sure there will.
He's a good actor. I really like his expressions. So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard living up to having to try to be a young version of Scatman Crothers, because the way they were talking about behind the scenes, they're trying to play into that version of the character.
Yeah.
Who also was never involved in Derry, as far as I know, with a few books that are connected to Derry. So they're just kind of bringing him in for their thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty bold move. Let's see if it pays off as well, you know?
Yeah. See, Cotton.
Yep. And I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else to talk about, so I'll wrap this show up so you can get something to eat, since you just came in and sat down and haven't eaten anything yet. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please grab that link wherever it is on your device, above, below, in the share button, I don't know. Grab it, share it off with somebody else you like, in whatever way that you can convince them to watch this. Like watching, hate watching, apathy watching, I don't care. Just get them in here and inflate that view count, please. In the meantime, we're going to say goodbye, and For the evening shows, we'll see you no later than Thursday for Game Central Junction.
See ya.